Hey, everybody, this is Avery Fisher, and I'm so excited to bring you the first of many prologue episodes for Beyond the Furthest Stars. Sit back and relax as we journey into the lore and the history of the Moirae Galaxy, where our show takes place. The Moirae Galaxy is a place of wonder. Much like our own Milky Way galaxy, it is a spiral galaxy home to billions and billions of stars, planets, and other structures. Its history is a long and complex one, stretching back to the dawn of the universe. As gravity and other cosmic forces began to shape the Moirae Galaxy into what it is today, life also took shape here, much as it has on Earth. Humans are just one of the many different forms of life that can be found scattered throughout the Moirae. Reptilian creatures called the Scaff, creatures with tentacles and teeth called the Nocoloids, androids, AIs, and all sorts of strange and wondrous creatures have developed in the many planets and star systems that make up the Moirae. For the sake of our story, though, we will begin only 1,000 years before our story. The first launch of an interstellar mission between worlds set off a galaxy-spanning age of technological innovation, cooperative trade between worlds, and mutual peace that seemed like it would go on forever. Worlds once isolated from their galactic neighbors began meeting new creatures different from them and yet still shared the same zest for life that they had. There were, of course, bumps in the road. Language barriers, differences in customs or worldviews, and even the occasional exposure to germs that required quick action to help save people before they died or were seriously harmed by the exposure. But through all these barriers, the people of that time strived for a galaxy of cooperation, trust, and growth. After nearly 700 years, the bonds of peace and prosperity began to fray. As is all too common in history, the peace was shattered by the greed of individuals. A corporation known as Jungle sprang up, seemingly out of nowhere, to throw this era of peace into disarray. Jungle promised a galaxy full of convenient products at affordable prices and services that could reach the most isolated systems in the Moirae. The well-off systems embraced Jungle and began integrating its services into everything they did. Their homes were managed by robots from Jungle. They got their medicine and food delivered directly to them by Jungle. Children were entertained by Jungle holovids. Everywhere you looked in the wealthy parts of the Moirae Galaxy, you'd see that friendly-looking, smiley-face branding. But there was a dark side to Jungle. Jungle's founder, Beth Zajos, placed his own planet of Ozius under the boot of Jungle, forcing its population into working for Jungle. Jungle absorbed every other company on its home planet until it became a juggernaut. The comforts of the galaxy were built on the backs of the workers from Ozius and other less well-off planets. The comforts of Jungle led the richer systems to band together to protect their way of life. They soon formed the Astraeus Republic and became the galaxy's first multi-system power. From the capital world of Olympia, the Astraeus Republic ruled over a vast expanse of worlds close to the galactic core and created a happy life for its citizens, but at a cost. They enjoyed this tranquil existence through the backbreaking labor and slow degradation of the planets exploited by Jungle. As with all great powers, there will be those who oppose such a group. In the outer rim of the galaxy, on the planet of Tartarus, an ancient being stirred from a millennia-long slumber. Calling itself the Eternal One, this being spread its will throughout the outer rim planets, taking control and bringing the inhabitants under its influence. The beings of this federation began calling themselves the hegemony. It opposed the tranquil ignorance of the Republic, the willingness of its citizens to ignore the plight of other worlds and interests, though they too were corrupted by Jungle, and found many of its services enticing as it built up its massive war machine. Eventually, the Hegemony and Republic came to blows over their mutual interest in Jungle. The war was fierce and drawn out. Weapons from Jungle weapons labs fired against ships constructed at the Jungle space docks. Robots constructed by one factory owned by Jungle were facing off against robots constructed at a different factory owned by Jungle. The war was both sad and comic, with neither side gaining an advantage over the other, and only enriching Beth Zejos further. After years of exploitation and backbreaking labor, those workers rebelled and began dismantling Jungle from within. In a matter of days, Jungle had been destroyed, Beth's entire fortune was confiscated, and Beth was eventually tried for his crimes and sent into exile, though his final destination remains a mystery. With Jungle dismantled, its crimes exposed to the galaxy, the Republic attempted to quietly bring Osseous and the other planets into the fold of its power. The Hegemony as well attempted to capture these territories by sending people to share the will of the Eternal One with them. But the people of these planets were wary of replacing one overlord with another, wary of being reduced to wage laborers for the comforts of others. Every planet once exploited by the Republic and the Hegemony's ignorance of Jungle, for their comfort and their wars, rejected these advances and formed a coalition of independent systems. Each system, each planet, had control over its own destiny. No one would interfere with how they ran their planets, and if anyone did, the entire coalition would band together as they did against Jungle. After the war with the Republic drew to a stalemate, and with the rejection of the Eternal One's influence from the Coalition worlds, the Hegemony withdrew back to the Outer Rim worlds and remained silent. The Eternal One would wait until the galaxy was ready for its influence once again. The Republic settled into a state of reduced comfort, but with more sustainable and ethical practices, forced upon them by the lack of Jungle's exploitation. Instead of taking from the Coalition planets, they traded and exchanged freely. For 150 years, the galaxy has remained at relative peace. It has its occasional problems, life going extinct on some planets, the occasional black hole splitting a world apart, android uprisings, rogue AI, space pirates, smugglers, and all manner of bad luck that is just a part of life. But galaxy-shaking events and wars have been a thing that many species have not grown up with. But the Eternal One has stirred once more. The Hegemony is on the move once again. And the Republic has become corrupt. And our story is just getting started. Thanks for listening to our prologue for Beyond the Furthest Stars. Background music provided by tabletopaudio.com and used under an attribution, non-commercial license from Creative Commons. Be sure to check out all of our prologue episodes in June of 2022, and be sure to listen to the launch of our first episode on July 1st, 2022. Check out oneuppodcast.com for more information on all of our shows, cast members, and how to support our network. Bye!